Hello and welcome to the worst art channel on YouTube. My name is Chris Ripper and I can't art. Today's episode, we'll call it, is called Oh my God! Because okay, so I have a thing with the word failure. I was going to say I failed at doing what I intended to do, which is true. The first plan that I had, I completely failed at. And when I say that, I mean it in a constructive way. I think people use the word failure in a number of different ways. And one of the most common is to use it destructively as a sort of giving up word. For me, it's not a giving up word. I completely failed at my original plan for Perspectember, which was to find references that really had a sense of perspective to them and then to try to reproduce them, to draw them. Okay, totally didn't work. Obvious in retrospect why it didn't work, because I don't know how to draw, which you'd think would be obvious. And I suppose I did know that going in, but I apparently thought that I could just look at references and like figure it out. I don't know. So yes, didn't quite go as planned. So in the middle of last week, which was the first week of September, I basically stopped doing that because I was super frustrated and went back to basics. And I think I've already covered that it's not back to basics. It's just to basics for the first time. And really started doing the exercises on like perspective learning videos, perspective drawing videos. And it's really, really hard. It is super, super hard. And that's obvious, but like, wow, it's just so hard. I think that it's important I was going to just kind of mention this in passing and then let it go. But I think it's actually, wow, there's just so many cars driving by that I apologize for the background noise. I think it's really important to point out things like this and to also be open to the possibility of failing at things. I learn way, way more through failing than I do through succeeding. The books that I have written and even now I still think are not that strong, but I worked really hard on them, taught me much, much more than the books that I wrote that were relatively easy to write and that I enjoyed and, you know, that are probably fine. I didn't learn as much from those. And this art experiment has taught me a great deal already about learning. So for that alone, it's definitely been worth doing. But I still would like to understand perspective better than I currently understand perspective. Oh my God, my brain I cannot wrap my brain around it at all. It is so hard. I did draw a street scene. I think it was a Tokyo street scene, you know, just some random photo that I saw on the internet. And I think there were a couple of weird spots that like the perspective seemed off in the original photograph. So obviously I understand there's some mechanism at work there that I just don't get yet. But as frustrating as that is, it's also really thrilling. It's thrilling to sense that there's so much more to the world than I knew there was, than I even knew to look for, and so much more to my ability to understand it, because really I just chalked all of this visual stuff up to things I'll never know, things I'll never get. So I maybe will at some point get some fraction of it, which is way more than I ever thought that I'd understand. So I'm going to keep going. And we are about a third of the way through the month. So I'm not even going to show you the thing I did today. That'll be in the check-in. But like, whew, it's rough. It's all really rough. But yeah, there you have that. I don't know. This is just a kind of a midway. I was going to do a totally different video today, but I just felt that this was necessary, important. I don't know. In any case, I will see you next time. I'll have a speed painting out tomorrow, the day after, and then, of course, a check-in vlog style thing on Friday. We'll see what happens. All right. See you next time. Bye.